Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me. So, the first thing I want to do is just express my gratitude for all of you who continue to support my work. It means a lot to me. I don't have any other social media, so this is it for me. Everything I generate comes from here. So, thank you very much for being involved. So, this message is about the higher self and why the higher self wants you to see your past lives. When we awaken and we develop, reviewing our past lives and where we've been helps us understand more about who we are and where we're going. And you got to understand that one of the primary reasons that your soul incarnates in a place like this, amongst other things, is that it contains a massive amount of potential. Your soul is always in pursuit of potential. And when you think about it, the universe is entirely made up of potential. When you plant a seed, it has a potential that it could grow and sprout into a tree. But everyone knows that's not 100% sure what's going to happen. But that doesn't always stop us from planting the seed. So your soul is going from place to place in the universe, planting seeds, pursuing potential. And just so happens right now, in this little sweet spot of consciousness you find yourself in, there is a heck of a lot of potential to be had. So when you wake up, the higher self starts showing you past lives. And even if you're not reviewing them consciously, you should know that it's likely that you're seeing a lot more of those past lives than you realize. And you might get to the point where you have an activation and are able to understand what you're being shown in the moment. But you'll realize that over time you've seen your past lives in dreams, you've had visions and revelations about past life. You've even been shown things that got you excited and got you to manifest and take this next step in your path when, that whole process was triggered by seeing a past life where you've done that thing before. You'll also realize that a lot of you are creating visualizations in your mind, little stories that you tell or little scenarios that you go off and experience. What you're doing is actually remembering a past life, and it's kind of a comfort zone for you, so you instinctively go there without consciously knowing the what, where, when, and why. But everyone wants to experience or witness a past life of theirs. They want to know who they are, where they've been, what they've achieved, what they've built here. And I can tell you from experience that a lot of what you've built here is still here. There are artifacts of yours, there are works of art of yours that could be hanging in some grandma's living room in the Netherlands. You never really know the imprint that you've left until you can consciously get your highlight reel, which is worth pursuing 100%. So what can you do to begin the process of seeing those past lives, to trigger or spark something within you that starts that exciting part of your path? It takes a lot of focus, it takes a lot of imagination, it takes being able to immerse yourself somewhere outside of your physical body. You have to show up and make it important and really invest all of your energy into that experience. One thing that you can do is think of a scenario that you would enjoy or simulate a past life that you think you may have had in your mind's eye. You can go about this a few ways. You can play the character, seeing through their eyes, feeling what they're feeling, using their hands, using their feet, going from place to place, having different experiences and talking to different characters. Or you can take on the role of the higher self and just witness from the third person view you doing those things in a previous place and time. Is this real or not? Is this made up? Is this imagination? What really is that? And those are not really the factors that we want to think about right now. We just want to play the scenario and become engrossed and invested in whatever the scene is as much as possible. Something happens when you do that. When you can be playful like a child, which is how you have to show up in order to do those things, something you could do effortlessly as a kid. You could be anywhere, anytime, and you didn't have to leave your home. And you know that's true, and that's what we want to get back to. If you go into those scenarios created by you, something happens. Your filters from the physical self start to fall away and are not involved in the creation of those scenarios. Then you tap into universal consciousness. So let's say you're going through those situations and scenarios that you're creating for yourself to experience, and you're still like dabbling in this is pretend, having one foot in and one foot out. When you're in that situation, you're still working with limited consciousness or linear consciousness, which is basically like a computer that's disconnected from the internet. Because all of these systems don't know the difference between you pretending and you really going on an astral trip. You have to begin the process. You have to get the engine started and create momentum with your multidimensional aspects. And then something happens. The higher self can step in and say, okay, I've got it from here. Here's what I want to show you. The higher self will have an easier time showing you something in dream time and having you retain the information of what you saw. It's going to open up a wide range of things for you. If you can just return to that childlike state, reclaim your right to pretend and to create something in the multidimensional space, and let yourself be immersed in that and become fully invested in what that experience is. Here's something else. When you get to the point where you can do that effortlessly, then something that comes into play is the moment before. So let's say we're not going to create this vision and experience this scenario. We are going to set the intention to have that kind of experience, but before we engage in it, we are pausing in the moment before and telling the higher self, show me the record that I need to see. And then something will happen for you. Everybody starts somewhere, but it doesn't matter if after that statement is made, higher self, show me, if you see a color, if you see a bird, if you go on this astral trip to the other side of the galaxy in a different body and consciousness that you experienced and co-created in, accept it as this is what the higher self needed to show me, and then invest your time and energy in sharpening your senses to have an even more vivid, immersive experience the next time. Keep yourself clean. Keep your energy reserves intact in a place that is always taking from them so that you have something left over at the end of the day to explore your alternate states of consciousness. Anyway, thank you very much, you guys. If this information helped you out, please see my website and feel free to contact me if you have any questions about the services I offer or whatever else is on your mind. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye.